Alrighty, well, I'll get started. So thank you, everyone. So my name is Ross Anderson. I'm a Client Services Manager here at Safetrac. What we're going to be going through today as part of our Lunch and Learn series is how we can add our own training policies and so on into our modules and how we can enroll staff in those and all of that through the BYO learning function in the Safetrac system. So people have come to us. Part of the reason we've developed this is that we noticed that people saying they're having issues when updates are being made to legislation and they needed people to sign off on all of their policies again. A lot of people are still having a tough time managing that. There's a lot of manual record keeping involved in people signing off policies. A lot of people still doing things by hand. And we have found as well that for some people, just having someone tick off on a policy wasn't quite enough. They wanted to package that with our learning as well to make it more engaging and to ensure that the staff actually retaining the lessons from those policies. So in terms of what we can do with the Safetrac system, so we can create modules similar to the Safetrac learning modules for our own policies. You can package those or roll them out with suites and so on in conjunction with the Safetrac training, just as mentioned as well. So not only do your employees have it all in one place, but also to kind of centralize the learning, have it stick in people's heads more. And then you can also track the policy acceptance, who's signed off on it and everything like that within the platform. So again, you've centralized all of your record keeping. It works just the same as your normal reporting with regards to your Safetrac courses and everything like that. So without further ado, I'll jump in here. So with regards to this feature, I mentioned this uses our BYO learning functionality, which you can access if you have it enabled here. You'll have a tab called Learning. If you open this up, you see you have a variety. So here's some courses that we've already added. But essentially, this is where you can add your own courses, so policies and etc., into the Safetrac platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this to all. So then I'm going to go add a course here. For the name, I'm going to call this sexual harassment policy. And I'll leave this as a compliance category. So you'll notice here that we have a course and then modules. So with the way that most normal Safetrac courses work, they are one course and one module. When you're adding your own courses, you have the option to have multiple modules. So for example, if you have two policies, say, that you want people to sign off on, but under the one sort of heading, they need to be completed together, this is where you can do so. I might call this sexual harassment policy 1. I'm not very imaginative, so bear with me here. Sexual harassment policy 2. You can see for the content time here, we can select if we're doing a meeting, SCORM, PDF, or PowerPoint. For the purpose of today's demonstration, we'll be going through doing the PDF because we're uploading the policies. If you have any questions about any of these other functionalities, please reach out to either your client services representative or your account manager. Be happy to tee up some time to run through that with you. So I'm just going to select PDF for both of these here and then save. I'm just going to create this course for us in the back end and then open it up for us here. So we can see here, it's grayed out. So it starts off as inactive. So I'm just going to set this to active here. We have policy page. The policy page is where I'm just going to go save. What we can do is we can have a little bit of text that pops up when a user wants to enter the module. So for example, if I scroll down here, you can see the policy page. You have been enrolled in this course. For example, some people might have a message, message from HR or compliance or something like that in this space as well. You have the option to have a thumbnail. If you don't want to have a thumbnail, we have a default one, which I'll be showing you later. And here we've got content access default. What that just means is enrolled ever is the standard. That is the same for your Safetrac courses. That just means that anyone that's ever been enrolled can then go and view the policy at any time, regardless if they have a test associated to it or not. If you want to change that, you can say, oh, no, actually, I only want people that are enrolled in the test to be able to access this policy. So that's for the course, the top-down level. And now we go to each module here. So we can see here, for this module here, we've got our PDF, acknowledgement of policy here. And what we can do is we go down, we set it as active. We've got test type completion only. So you can set it to be pass fail or completion only. The difference being pass fail, if you build a set of test questions, it will work the same as the Safetrac. So you can assign someone to be, example, 80% of 10 questions, and it will draw 10 questions randomly from the question bank. If there's more than 10, they'll have to get 80% of them right in order to pass. We also have is this option here, automated. That was specifically created to make it a bit easier for these policies. So if I set that to automated, and I'll just save that here. If I go to view my questions, it's got an acknowledgement. It's going to go options here and edit, where we can edit our questions. We can see here that that has just created this one. I have read the policy and agreed to abide by it. Yes or no. So nice, easy way if you're doing lots of policies. Most people are looking for acknowledgements, but if you want to add questions, you can just click here and add a variety of questions into the question bank as well, if desired. Again, if you want more detail on constructing questions with BRO Learning, please reach out and we'll be happy to go through that with you. Just going to go back to the module here that's got the acknowledgement. Bear with me, my internet isn't perfect. So I've got this here. So test type automated. We can generate a certificate if you'd like a certificate of completion to go out with this course. Content prerequisite, not mandatory. Again, this is similar to how we can set our Safetrac courses. You can make it so that people have to view the viewed once, so they have to have opened the policy at least once to be able to complete the acknowledgement. A mandatory means that they can only complete the acknowledgement from within the policy. So most people do something like view once. Display test link is similar. If we have this on, but this is viewed once, the test link will be grayed out and it will tell them, make sure you go through the policy first, or we can just make sure that the test link doesn't even appear until they've viewed the policy at least once. And then upload PDF here. So here's where we have an option. So what you see here is we just go add a new version, and you can either click on this or drag and drop. So I'm just going to drag and drop because I have some stuff ready to go. So sample policy here. I'll upload that here. And you'll see here that there's two here now, because what we have is we have the ability in the system to have up to 3 versions of a policy hosted within the system. And whichever one is the one that is active, I just need to click here, and that will now make this the one that the users go through. If I click on this little eye, it will just preview the file for us as well. So I'm going to save that. You can see here we can decide on the email notifications. So, but you would generally leave these on by default. But if you wanted to turn these off, if you didn't want people to receive any of these particular emails associated with this course. And if you are adding lots of policies, sometimes it's easy if you go here, clone module. This has just made a new module, all of the exact same details that we'd set up. And now if I go to upload a PDF, I can just add in now my other policy. Oops. Set that to active here and save. So that way, sometimes people might be doing an induction. They might have a whole suite of policies that they want to be hosted under the one course. This is just an easy way to, when you're setting that up, you can see it only takes a second to mirror the course that we've already built. So we've now added F policy in. So how do then we actually use this with regards to the system? So I'm just going to go to enrollments here. And we have a whole bunch of suites. So if you're familiar with the Safetrac system, you'll understand, but essentially the suite is just where we can set up a course or collection of courses with some predefined parameters so that we can then roll it out to our users. So I'm just going to go respect at work here because I made this one earlier. You can see here that this is our Safetrac respect at work course. So I'm enrolling this as it stands, my users in a Safetrac course. But now I'm just going to go add a course requirement. Go sample sexual harassment policy. And you can see here, these are the 2 modules. So for each of the modules, I'll just set them to go 30 days from the day of enrollment. Exactly the same. So those of you familiar with the system, you'll see that this is the exact same as how you do normal enrollments in Safetrac. The only difference here being the modules. So now I've added that to this suite. So what this means is that now when I go to enroll my users, it will be enrolling them in this training. And then at the exact same time, it's going to be enrolling them in these relevant policies that we've just set up. So kind of reinforcing the learning in the training and also making sure that, yeah, that's all packaged together for the users. And it's just simple that while they're completing this training, then they can also mark off on the policies that are relevant. In terms of deploying it, it works the exact same as you would normal training. You can enroll people individually en masse and so on. For example, I'll just propagate this. If I want to do this en masse to people, I'm only going to select a tiny amount just because this is our demonstration server and there's a whole lot. I'll propagate this to my users. Like normal, you would normally obviously send an email. Or if I want to enroll an individual, I'm just going to go to myself, go to my assigned learning, enroll myself in the suite here. So in terms of how this will look at our users, we've now pushed this out to them. If we go to our My Training here, this is what the actual end users will see that have been enrolled. And what you'll be able to see is that I've been enrolled in the Respect at Work, as well as our policies. So you can see here, this is what our default thumbnail looks like. If I click here, we can see here's the two modules. So you can see I'm unable to go to the test without having opened the policy first. Click on the policy. Here's our sexual harassment policy, which we can go through. You can zoom, native zoom functionality here. And then when I've completed that, I'll go to my test. I've read and agreed the policy. Yes. And so now that completion is marked off. So when I'm running a report on a user, I can see that they've completed this on this date and that they have willfully acknowledged the policy as well. So that's generally the way that we do it for people. It's probably the easiest way. We can then package our training modules with the policy questions as well. I'll just give you some time now as well if there's any questions that people wanted to ask with regards to any of the things that we've demonstrated. Okay, yes, I can see someone's asked if you can upload a Word document or only PDFs. So at this stage, it needs to be a PDF, but you can just convert any Word doc to a PDF. I believe the limit is 10 megabytes, which is quite large for a PDF. Can policies be sent out solo? Okay, yes. So if in that example, then I package that with a Safetrac course, just as part of it. But if I wanted to only send out this policy that we've created, for example, I'll go into enrollments again. I'll propagate a course. I'll select my users here. Again, only a small cohort just for the example here. I'll find sexual harassment policy. I'll select this. And again, in this case, you just go or max 100%. I'll just leave these dates by default as now, but by doing this, I can actually propagate the entire course, just this one these policies that we've made to these users. So you can see here, these users will be enrolled now only in that policy. And like I mentioned, if you have a whole bunch of policies and that's the only thing you want to do, you might want to make a learning module that just has multiple modules underneath it, maybe with 6 or 7, which we often see for people that are maybe doing an induction. They want people to sign off on all of their relevant policies under the one course. You can do that as well. Okay, I'll just give another minute for if there's anything else. Otherwise, as mentioned, oops, if you want to find out anything else regarding this feature, what we've just gone through or anything else that you think might be relevant to your business or you might want to see, is there something that we haven't covered here? Please reach out to your account manager and or your client services representative. We'd be happy to run you through a demonstration showcasing some of the more specific and detailed things that we can do with the functionality. Otherwise, I'll just give it another minute if anyone did have any last minute questions. All right. Well, no worries, guys. Thank you so much for your time. And yes, as mentioned, anything else, please follow up with you. Be happy to answer any more, anything in real detail. So yes, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.